Listen up. You listening? You know what causes more stress than deadlines or supply shortages or even tax season? It's not knowing. When you're left to guess what's going on, your brain goes into overdrive. I know mine does. Where are we at? What's happening? Am I the only one who doesn't know? And you know what? It's seldom good. Do you relate? That's why hashtag CCC, continuous caring communication, is a lifesaver, not just for projects, but for people and our stressors. Here's the thing, when we communicate openly and frequently, we don't have to worry or wonder about where the others are at. You see, talking and discussing and informing, DWC maybe, means our humanity is shared, our connection is enhanced, and the environment becomes safer for everyone. You see, open-minded listening with intent and care for a truer, better outcome, not just to argue or to shame or blame, creates a space where people feel heard. And when people feel heard, stress goes down and trust goes up. It doesn't mean we always get our way. You see, more often than not, the perfect solution isn't even ever possible anyway. Resources, time, skills, and constraints force compromises. Because if we communicate continuously, people will know what these are and accept those compromises without losing faith, because they were wondering. We were wondering, right? Now, if we look back in time, Marcus Aurelius reminds us that if it is not right, do not do it. If it is not true, do not say it. So, truthful, caring communication saves everyone stress too. And Einstein, we all know Mr. Einstein, right? He says any fool can know, but the point is to understand. Listening with intention is how we move from just knowing what the other person is thinking or saying to understanding what they mean, what they want, what they need. And even Gary V, with all his bluntness, insists culture is based and built by constant communication, not posters on the wall, but people actually talking. Yes, you CEOs, us CEOs need to know who our people are, and you only get that through talking. Now, I'll be honest, communication isn't always pretty or easy. It's not always eloquent. You don't always think of what you should have said until after, right? Sometimes it's messy, awkward, and sometimes even feels like TMI. Whoa, I didn't need to know that. But you know what? I'd rather, and I think we'd rather, have an awkward conversation than a silent guessing game. Nothing is worse than that. Because when people don't know, they make stuff up. We all do. We wonder, "Oh, I didn't hear from so and so. Is he in a ditch? Is she abandoned somewhere?" Right? So let's be real. Nobody's imagination makes life easier most times. It usually makes it scarier. Why? I don't know. I've seen this play out also more often than you can think of in our tribe. And when I think back, the times when things get tense are never just about production or schedules or even clients. The tension comes from not knowing where he, we, us stand. But once we start talking, even if the news isn't the best or the greatest, the stress somehow lifts. It just lifts. Why? Because people would rather face reality together than wonder alone. It's strange. So here's our challenge this week, maybe. Let's practice CCC, hashtag CCC, continuous caring communication. Share what you know as soon as you know it, even if it's not complete. Just say it's not complete. Something might change this, but here's what I know today. And listen, not just to respond, but to understand. And when compromise is needed, explain it. Share why you can't or don't or, whatever. Share the limitation in the resources. That way, people don't feel dismissed. They actually feel respected. Love to do that idea, but we just don't have the manpower. We just don't have the money. We just don't have the tools or the supplies. That can explain a lot. And then people will understand and maybe even help solve the solution. Because caring communication is more than words. It's a gift of safety, of connection, and of shared humanity. We don't see each other then as the demon or the enemy. We're all human. In the end, hashtag CCC can be the savior of stressors. It keeps us from carrying the weight of worry and wonder that gets so heavy at times. It reminds us that leadership isn't about being perfect, but about being present. And as every great leader knows, from philosophers to entrepreneurs to everyday heroes, even a little humor and a lot of honesty with the continuous caring communication, DWCTACHOC, can carry a tribe farther than any single plan. It just means continuous work. SES, small, consistent communication. So this week, let's practice hashtag CCC on steroids if we can and see how it works and then keep on doing it. Even if it means you initiate the conversation. You're wondering why somebody doesn't talk to you? Just approach them with loving care and ask. Because you know what? In the end, the real legacy is you.